Hey guys, welcome back to Backseat Driver. I'm Julian and together with me is Jonathan and Idris. We're gonna talk about the same stuff that we did previously. We're gonna touch on some news, update you guys, and our favorite segment, Would You Rather?
Yes.
So the first top of the news we have is the facelifted Honda Civic Type R. Car Motors is bringing in for what, 159,000?
Just below 160,000 without COE.
Without COE. Current COE is what, 30,000?
30,000, yeah. So retail should be about 180 plus thousand.
Listed should be 180,
Yeah.
huh? I wonder how much it's going to cost if I actually trade in my car.
No dear.
It costs your life.
Yeah,
But
no, it's
this
cost a
is-
lung and a limb and...
This is the facelift, but if you look at it now, there's not much you can tell in terms of how it looks.
Yeah,
You look
yeah.
carefully-
But there's a power bump, right?
Sorry?
Is there a power bump from the previous
I don't think so.
pre-facelift
I don't think there's a power bump, but I do know now the cooling is more efficient. The bumpers are
more
bit-
pronounced and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, but we've always liked the Type R. I thought the Type R was always very special. The only problem is the current Type R that I see is just more exaggerated. The whole design is more bangish,
yes,
right?
yes.
Like you drive on the road and you're just gonna attract the eyes of people.
Yes, it's very striking.
Yeah, but I like the color though. I like the whole blue. And
It's
stuff.
very
Boost
aggressive.
blue. This
Yeah.
is new for the facelift actually, this color.
But there is a yellow Nürburgring edition, right, in the UK? Or did I get that wrong? Or was that another car?
I'm not too sure.
I don't know.
about my
Maybe
FK,
that was another car.
Yeah, nice car. I think the facelift does a better job of making it look a bit less aggressive and
Yeah.
shouty.
Oh well. All right. So next up we have
Another Honda.
yeah, another Honda. The new Jazz.
The new Jazz, oh dear.
For all you Jazz drivers out there, well, yes, the new Jazz is coming.
Yes.
Yeah. So it highlights creates the most comfortable car in its class. Blah, I don't know. It's the
That's
most
what Honda says.
Yeah. I mean, I've always liked the Jazz. I thought the Jazz is a everyday car for the everyday guy. However, I thought the previous generations looked better.
Yeah, the previous
Right?
3 generations.
But
Yeah.
that's always the case with the Jazz and the Fit, because after the GD, the GE, everyone say, oh, the previous generation looked better.
I guess.
Take a few years, people will start liking it. The GK was the same. Everyone thought that's an MPV, not really a hatchback. And then
Yeah, it looks a bit.
But don't you feel the
Exploded.
previous few generations look kinda similar to each other? Kinda, but
Yeah.
this one is
It's a complete change, right?
yeah.
But here's the thing, right? I mean, I'm sure it'll grow on bias, but the problem is, see, Suzuki Swift actually looks nicer now. It didn't look as nice as before, whereas I can't say the same with Jazz.
Yeah, but the Fit is, I think, already in Singapore. Some parallel importers have already brought it in. So if you
Okay.
want to check it out,
Oh.
go to your favorite parallel importer.
Okay. Oh, lovely stuff. So Hyundai Motors unveils the design of the new Santa Fe SUV. We were just talking about this a couple of days ago. Well, the problem, we actually thought that the Hyundai design was actually improving over the years, but of late, recently, it became a little off.
Yeah, I
Right.
agree. I don't really fancy the whole Nissan Juke looking front where, you know, the main
Oh, the
headlights are at the
two,
bottom,
right,
and
separated,
then you
right,
have
right.
the top
Yeah.
fancy lights.
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer the Sorento though.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
No, I actually prefer the Tucson.
Oh really?
Yeah, I thought the Tucson was quite good, but I really don't like the current looks of Hyundai cars. Like for example, the Avante, it's too like sharp and I don't know. It's just
That's why
lost its touch.
That's why I
feel.
prefer the Kias. I like the new Sorento. That looks.
Okay, but that said,
Yeah.
I think Hyundai did very well with the Palisade. What do you call that?
Palisade.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
that was poof.
Yeah.
I thought that was really nice. I mean, that's a car I would seriously consider, although I think it's too big for Singapore.
Yeah.
But it's just brilliant. It's a very, very brilliant looking car. Well done to Hyundai. So yes.
Right. Some enthusiast.
Alright.
looking, huh?
So we have a 2021 Porsche 911 Targa. We have one that is the 4S Heritage Design Edition.
Yes.
The first special Heritage Design model. I like the color red. It's a very special red, very shiny red. Like, I can't really put a finger to that. But I can't really say personally I like the Targa because it's a very special car, I think, because of the whole roof and how it's being made and all that kind of stuff. But open top cars just aren't for me.
Yeah,
This
I
attracts
do
too
like the
many eyes.
Targa though. I like the large greenhouse at the top. But the Heritage Edition, well, it's just a couple of stickers outside in a special color. But the interior though is really nice. Got the Bordeaux red top.
Oh, right,
I don't
right,
think
right.
you can get that kind of mix with even like with the huge.
Money can
options.
buy you everything, man.
Yeah, like if you buy a normal 911, I don't think you can get the Bordeaux red top and the beige interior. You can get like something similar.
If I have the money to buy a Porsche
Maybe
911, I
a
think I'll just,
$10,000 option.
yeah,
I
probably
think-
$40,000 option.
I think in Singapore to have a color as close to what the Heritage has, I think it's about $60,000
Whoa,
because you need to
whoa.
include the chrono package, you need to include a couple of other stuff before you get that color, that
Wow.
particular interior color. So
Okay.
Good stuff.
I mean, well,
I like the Targa though.
yeah, but that's just too much, man. That's just too much. Okay. So then we have the right-hand drive C8 Corvette, which is launching in the second half of 2021, but that's going to happen in the UK. Unfortunately, we don't really know whether or not it's going to come to Singapore. Most probably not. But if it does, well, you'll be the first to know.
Actually, are there any Corvettes in Singapore? Did anybody just...
There are. I think there's a C3 Corvette.
I
That's
thought
a
there were two.
conversion. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the one is a converted C3.
Yeah.
But then again, I could be wrong because I don't really know much about Corvettes.
Yeah, so basically for Corvettes, from what I understand, Australia has a very big market for right-hand drive conversions. So a lot of the right-hand drive Corvettes from previous generations, C7, C6, are all conversions, but they are converted really well. Like it looks OEM.
But the problem is, will it be like the Megane RS that we did previously? Like years ago, I drove the Megane RS, right? And the problem with that is the handbrake feels like it came from the other side of the seat. So it's not here, it's like here. And the start, I think the engine start button was like here instead of here. So it feels very...
Right.
Yeah. I don't know if
It's like the Peugeot 3008, the glove box is...
Oh yeah. It's a bit off. The whole ergonomics is a bit off. But
the French cars have this kind of problems, like when they shift over to right-hand drive.
They don't really change the internal electronics.
French cars.
Would you rather?
Alright, so now it's our favorite segment, Would You Rather? Let's see what our producer has installed for us.
Let's go.
Okay, so would you rather own a Renault Megane RS Trophy R or the Mercedes-Benz A45S?
Right. It's a Megane RS for me.
French cars, ah.
Yeah. Trophy. I've not
You
driven-
will wind up the window halfway, then after 2 years it will just stuck and you have to do this.
Had a French car before, similar experience, but the Megane RS Trophy R, it's ridiculously expensive though. I think you can buy like an M3 or something for that kind of money.
there is a Megane R Trophy, Renault Megane RS Trophy in Singapore now, one and only unit.
This particular...
I don't think it's a Trophy R, I think it's just a Trophy. It's in Singapore. And one and only unit, and I'm not too sure if they're going to sell it, but I'm not too sure who's going to buy it. But if I had the money, I'll go for the Mercedes-Benz A45.
Really?
Depends on me.
Yeah, I mean, it's such an arrogant, obnoxious car. I love it. It sounds great. It looks great. I love waking up the neighbors in the middle of the night, after a long session of whatever you're doing. At 3 a.m., you just floor it.
Oh dear. But the
Yep.
Megane RS drives really well. I don't know about the Trophy R, but the base Megane RS, the rear wheel steering stuff.
Yeah, it's
amazing.
good stuff.
It turns. It's amazing how it manages turns. But yeah.
A45?
Yeah, A45 for me.
A45, man. I mean, I'm gonna sell it without any problems.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Okay, would you rather be driven in a Toyota Century or Rolls-Royce Phantom? Now, in
Toyota
case
Century.
yes, absolutely, yeah. I'll do Toyota Century any day of the week and twice on Sundays.
Yes.
In case you guys don't know, the Toyota Century is actually the flagship model of Toyota. It's not the Crown, it's actually the Century. It's a JDM model. A lot of Yakuzas actually own the Century. They have curtains by the side, and it's not even leather upholstery, it's actually fabric cushiony cut of something like carpet.
Was it
sort of-
silk or something like that?
I can't remember,
Yeah.
but it's a lovely car to be in. I've sat in one, never driven in one, but I heard the Emperor actually drives a 12-cylinder Century, just made for him. But well, I love the Century. I will go for the Century anytime with you, twice on Sundays.
Wow, but it looks like the design is stuck in the 1970s.
That is the whole idea, man.
But it's not,
Part about it.
no, but it's not in a good way.
No, it's just iconic. It is so timeless.
Okay, maybe because my only exposure to Japanese culture is through dramas, and when you see this car, it's usually during funerals.
Oh, what?
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why, but this type of cars.
Right, perhaps a Crown or something like that.
I think I took a video of myself being a Sentry playing and fiddling with all the stuff, but it's such a lovely car to be in. I mean, I would definitely want to be seen being driven in a Sentry.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I think he's just afraid everyone thinks he's in a Crown, yellow top cap or something.
No way. You can't mistake a Sentry for a Crown. So
Yeah.
there was a Sentry in Singapore selling, right?
Yes, there was one.
What,
I think
$1 million?
No, I don't know the
Ah.
price. It was I think a used import brought in by one of the
Parallel importers, right? Yeah.
I think it was
Sentry.
Coffee. I can't remember.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah, yeah, that was a Toyota Sentry in Singapore.
What a lovely car.
Good stuff.
What a lovely car. Would you rather drive a McLaren 720S that is permanently limited to 60 kilometers per hour, or a Mitsubishi Attrage that you can drive over 100 kilometers per hour? Well, this is a tough one, man. I mean,
Okay.
uh,
Okay.
John? Let's
Yeah.
push it to John
Yeah,
first.
Yeah, you think about it.
They are both painful, right? Because
Yeah.
the Attrage over 100 is going to and it's not an enjoyable drive. But in the McLaren at 60 kilometers per hour, I think the torture is more mental than physical.
No, this driving the McLaren slowly is quite a challenge. That's for sure. You know, the car doesn't like to sit at.
But I mean, I drove McLarens at 60 kilometers per hour before. I mean, but not for long, lah. But I mean, to me, I thought it was quite tolerable.
Was it a 720S? Because I actually sat in the.
No, it wasn't a 720S. I was in a 720S, but that was in Sepang.
Okay.
So that was okay. But for me, I will just take a Mitsubishi Attrage that will be able to drive over 100 kilometers per hour, because I don't think I can ever drive at 60 kilometers per hour in any car at any point in time.
Yeah.
I will take the Attrage.
I'll take
because-
Attrage as well.
Yeah, if the 720S had normal doors, I think I would go for the 720S. But those doors, I had an issue at the ERP gantry.
Yeah,
and
but it's
the passenger had to come out and
Okay.
so because you can't open the door when the whole cash card thing is right beside you. So
I'll go for the Attrage. In fact, all three of us will go for the
yeah,
Attrage.
we do the Attrage.
Would you rather have a car with a gaudy paint job, like a checkered sort of gaudy paint job, or a car with a gaudy interior, like a Barbie doll, pink filled? Oh my goodness, Hello Kitty
Why?
interior. Why? Why do you want to? Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Wow, this is another tough one. Idris?
I don't even want to choose between the two. I'll take the bus. But I guess I have to choose.
Yeah, if I had a choice, I'll take the exterior.
Really, yeah?
Because I'm the one looking at the interior all the time.
Okay.
And I'll just
But people will judge.
drive really fast. Yeah, wear mask. They can't see you.
Yeah, but here's the thing: people will instantly recognize, like,
Oh,
a car like this, right? People will drive by and say, "Oh, that's definitely John. That's only John drives a car like this."
If it's going to be in that Chev looking wrap, then maybe not. But if it was like LV prints, and like the Gucci snake at the side,
Gangsta.
then okay, maybe I'll be okay with it. Not because I'm a hype beast kind of guy, but at least I'll please some people. I guess.
I think I will go with the car with a gaudy interior, because I don't want anybody to recognize me from the outside. Like, on the outside, it's just gonna look very normal and people won't know that it's me, but as soon as they step in, they'll be like, oh man, this guy has got really, really bad taste.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks horrible. But nothing against pink, but this is just...
But with an interior like that, you can see it from the outside.
maybe, but...
Everyone will be like, oh.
We're going to assume this is ambient pink lighting at night. Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't even... I mean, if my girlfriend comes in and say, oh, I want this car to be like this, I'll immediately break up with her. She will no longer be my girlfriend.
Next time when you open the door, there'll be a Hello Kitty light
Yeah.
Oh man.
on the floor.
Yeah, there's no way you can get around without people looking at interior. By the time you get in at traffic lights, everyone will be looking at you, man.
Yeah, double decker bus next to you.
Oh yeah, oh man.
Yeah.
Actually, that's good. Yeah, double
bus
decker
driver
bus.
would judge you, man. He would just look, he would open his window like, stop.
Well, it's actually quite painful, but I just don't want anybody to recognize the car that I'm driving. I mean, it's just privacy stuff, right?
Okay.
Oh, that's true.
100% in. $70 fine for NTA.
Alright. Would you rather be the Sultan of Brunei or Jay Leno?
I'll be the Sultan of Brunei, man. That's the best.
John?
I don't know the Sultan of Brunei, so I will go for Jay Leno.
Oh, okay.
But because Jay Leno's
collection.
It's also rather
Yes,
huge.
yes,
and,
yes,
and I
yes.
really am.
Okay, but I
admire
mean,
it.
you gotta understand. I know a lot about Jay Leno. I know some stuff about the Sultan of Brunei. But the thing is, from what I understand, the Sultan of Brunei has got an endless pit of wealth.
Yeah.
Jay Leno will have a limit.
Yeah.
The Sultan's wealth will be able to buy me a lot of stuff that Jay Leno probably wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the Sultan of Brunei is known to have very special cars like the 456 shooting brake. I don't know the actual
Was it
name.
the Sultan of Brunei?
Ferrari 456.
Was it Joe? I can't remember which Sultan, but he actually had two Phantom, but just inverted colors. So like a
Was it?
maroon top with a black body, and one is a maroon body with a black top.
Yeah.
I mean, something like this. Something
Yeah,
it's
that's
ridiculous.
I mean, Sultan of Brunei is known to buy cars in every color also, just because he can have it.
I would be the Sultan.
Yeah.
I think I'll be a Sultan because of the endless pit of wealth that I have, and I can just buy whatever I want, whenever I want. But Jay Leno is cool also, lah.
Yeah,
right?
he has the two cars.
And he's so knowledgeable, and
Yeah.
you can feel his passion for each car he owns.
Mm.
I don't know much about the Sultan of Brunei. I'm not sure whether he knows what he actually bought and what's so special about each car he buys.
Oh, I'm sure he knows. I mean, I have no doubt that
He has cars made for him
Yeah,
by
so-
manufacturers. So
I mean, I'll have a car like a Julian edition.
Yeah.
Right, just like how Peter Lim has a Bugatti Veyron of a Peter Lim edition or something. I'll just have a Toyota Century Julian edition, and, right? That'll just solve the issue. But okay, I think I'll go for the Sultan. I'll be
Yeah,
the Sultan.
Alright.
I'll be the Sultan. I think that's
Good
just
stuff.
cool. Yeah. All right. So there we have it. Updated news for you guys, as well as Would You Rather segment that we just started. One of my favorite segments, actually.
Oh, okay.
I actually enjoy this Would You Rather. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and click on the bell notification so that you will be informed every time we upload new videos. Also, please feel free to comment in the comment box below and tell us what you think we should cover, any burning questions you have, and what you think about the Would You Rather segment as well. In the meantime, stay safe, be well, ciao.